welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about the difference between a string that actually holds its tie and a string that's wiry, in which you have to usually add wax, in which that's not always a guarantee whenever you add wax to a string. So just to kind of explain the difference between a wiry string and a non-wiry string, I guess. So this would be a non-wiry. Whenever I put it on, it holds. Whenever I pull it tight, it does not move. This is going to be funny. So that was a 2-ply medium. I'm going to say probably about a medium soft by now, just because it's older. This is a 3-ply hard string, and it feels pretty freaking hard. Don't judge me as I tie with this. So usually when you tie with one of these, and I just barely touched it, these strings will feed back into themselves. So what happens is whenever you pull it tight, this string will usually end up super wiry, and it'll pull back into itself. I will say that this one, it's been broken. I actually got this one used, so it's got a little bit fuzz to it. So it does have a little bit more grip, but a lot of times what you'll see is 3-plies that are super hard, brand new, they feed back into themselves really bad. So what happens is whenever you put on your tie, this string, as soon as you let go, it'll just feed back into itself. You'll hear a zoop, and usually it's your tie coming back into itself. What may also happen is whenever you step up off the scope, I can hear it feeding back into itself as I stand up, okay? That's usually when goats will stand up, is you're oh, my tie was good, but yet your tie's not holding at all. So that's kind of what I call a wiry string. A lot of people say, oh, we'll just use wax. Well, here's my thing, is if we have to use wax, why are we buying a string if we have to use wax to put on it to make sure that it stays? And then, is it a guarantee that it's going to stay? And then two, whenever I tie, I like for a string to feed throughout my hand. And if there's wax, that's going to create it to where it can't really feed through as well whenever I put wax on. And people are like, oh, well, you add baby powder. I guess I'm super sensitive to stuff like that, and I just yeah, but it's still going to be super waxy in my hand. But these are just kind of some things to think about when you're buying a goat string. Is it super stiff? So a wiry string literally feels to me like I've got a kid that's full of ADHD in my hand, okay? And I'm trying to control what is that little cartoon character? Oh gosh, I can't think of him, but he's just full of himself, full of his full of so much energy, and that's literally how it feels in my hand. The other part about a wiry string is, okay, I'm pointing the string down and it's still pointing to the side, okay? So then I have to physically wrap this string to make sure that it gets on here. And see, I just barely pulled and it just comes undone. And that's just kind of my thing about a string that's wiry. Usually a 3-ply. Your 3-plies are usually really wiry. Your stiffer 3-plies are really wiry. But that's just something to think about when you're trying to, when you're looking at goat strings. It's just is it wiry? Is it gonna hold? Yes, you can add wax, but then you've got to worry about it sliding through your hand. You got to make sure that the wax is applied correctly so that it maybe hold a tie. We're not really sure if it's going to hold it or not. To whereas with a 2-ply, these things have teeth and they grip together. My philosophy is if my tie can't hold, if my goat string and my tie cannot hold it together naturally, then I've got bigger issues that I need to deal with, and I need to get that figured out pretty soon. So with a 2-ply, there was no give. I didn't hear a single to where the teeth were given in. So, and that's a 2-ply that's like super worn out, okay? And this is a 3-ply that's got some fuzz to it as well. Personally, I wish I had a 2-ply that was more so in rodeo shape, to where I could really show you like a true difference in the strings. But this is all just opinion stuff. I know I've like figured out that a lot of y'all don't really know a whole lot about ghost strings. So hopefully this helps y'all in figuring out ghost strings, what to use, what to buy, you know, just try to give you some ideas. If you want something that's like super wiry in your hand, you've got to worry about it feeding back into itself, you've got to add wax to it, go for a 3-ply that's hard. And now a 3-ply that's soft may be a little bit different. I don't truly know, I don't use 3-plies. But a 2-ply, any 2-ply, it may feed back into itself at the very beginning because it doesn't have any fuzz, it doesn't have like it's not broke in completely yet, but I can promise you it's not gonna be like a 3-ply is, where they're like that forever, okay? That's just a personal opinion. It's totally up to you, but I definitely want to start providing y'all information for y'all to learn how to like pick your own ghost strings. It's not, I don't know what I use, I just use it. Like, no, like, you gotta have a reason why you use something. Like, you need to know why you use something, and you know, if you want to make a change, you gotta be able to know why you do it and what you want next, just so it helps you better. So hopefully this video helps y'all kind of like with that non-wiry feel in a string. Let me know if y'all have any questions about this. And make sure before you head out that you subscribe to my channel and that you give this video a thumbs up if you learned something from this video that you didn't know before, okay? And you guys, I'll see y'all back here next week with your next video. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great day, everyone.